Once upon a time, in the great kingdom of Imus, there lived a princess named Adaigwe. She was as beautiful as the morning sun, with smooth, dark skin and eyes that sparkled like the stars. But despite her beauty, Adaigwe was known for her arrogance. She spoke harshly to the servants, looked down on commoners, and ignored the wisdom of the elders. Her father, King Ezebiro, was a wise ruler who often warned her, "A crown without kindness is nothing but a burden." But Adaigwe would laugh and say, "Kindness is for the weak." In the same kingdom, there lived a young hunter named Obina. He was poor but hardworking, providing bush meat for the villagers. Everyone loved him for his humility and kindness. His family had arranged for him to marry Ebra, a beautiful and gentle maiden who also happened to be Adaigwe's best friend. But while Ebra's heart belonged to Obina, his heart did not belong to her. He respected her but did not love her the way a husband should. One evening, the palace was filled with excitement. Steve, a young man who had traveled abroad, had returned. He was Adaigwe's betrothed, chosen by her father. Steve arrived in fine clothes, walking through the village with his nose in the air. He had no respect for tradition, no love for the people, and no patience for anyone beneath his status. Adaigwe was initially pleased with his wealth but soon realized that he was even ruder than she was. "How can I marry a man like this?" she complained to her mother. But her mother reminded her that royal duty was not about love. One afternoon, Adaigwe rode her horse into the forest and got lost. As she grew frustrated, she saw a young man carrying a freshly hunted antelope. It was Obina. "You, hunter, take me back to the palace at once," she commanded. Obina chuckled. "Princess, I will, but first, you must ask politely." Adaigwe frowned. No one had ever demanded that she be polite before. But she had no choice. "Fine. Please take me back." Obina smiled and led her home. Along the way, he told her stories about the wisdom of the ancestors, the patience of the land, and the beauty of humility. Adaigwe, for the first time in her life, listened. From that day, she often found herself wandering into the forest, pretending to be lost. Each time, Obina would find her, and they would talk. Slowly, she began to change. She spoke more kindly, started helping the villagers, and even apologized when she was wrong. The arrogant princess was learning humility. Meanwhile, Ebra noticed that Obina had grown distant. One evening, she asked him, "Obina, do you love me?" He hesitated before replying, "Ebra, you are my friend, but I do not love you as a husband should." Tears filled Ebra's eyes, but she nodded in understanding. Rumors of Adaigwe's secret meetings with the hunter spread, and when Steve heard, he was furious. "How dare she humiliate me with a commoner?" he roared. He stormed into the palace and demanded the king take action. "A princess must not disgrace herself with a peasant," Steve shouted. The king summoned Adaigwe. "Is it true? Do you love this hunter?" Adaigwe took a deep breath. "Yes, father." Gasps filled the hall. The king, troubled, declared that if Obina truly wanted the princess, he must prove his worth by completing 3 impossible tasks. For the first task, Obina had to hunt the fierce leopard that had terrorized the land. Many hunters had tried and failed, but Obina, using patience and wisdom, set a clever trap and captured the beast. For the second task, he had to retrieve a golden feather from the sacred eagle atop the highest mountain. Instead of using force, Obina offered the eagle food and kindness. In return, the eagle gifted him a golden feather. The final task was to defeat the river spirit in a wrestling match. Many had drowned attempting this. But instead of using brute strength, Obina spoke with respect. "I do not seek to conquer you, great spirit. I only seek love." The river spirit, impressed by his humility, let him win. Obinna returned victorious. The king, moved by his bravery and wisdom, declared, "You have proven yourself. You shall marry my daughter." Steve, humiliated, left the kingdom in disgrace. The people rejoiced, and even Ebra, though heartbroken, smiled through her tears. "I release you, Obinna. May you find happiness." The entire kingdom prepared for the grandest wedding in history. Adaigwe, once the proud princess, spent her days serving the poor, proving she had truly changed. The villagers whispered, "The arrogant one has become the people's queen."